you see is extracted from that data. Out of 1,000 born at that time, 10% were projected to die by age 45. Now, out of the remaining 900, 25% would die by age 65. So 75% were expected to die after 65. So it's evident that most of the deaths occurred after this. Now let's take time out here and examine where this weird idea of age 65 came from. The idea of retirement is a relatively recent concept. Nowhere to any degree in history is the word even mentioned. I've studied the Bible through and through for many years, and I can't find anywhere that, and so Moses retired and lived happily thereafter. Basically, the idea started in Germany in 1890 by Bismarck. Now, these are the folks that gave the world the idea of Social Security. Now, the whole idea, folks, was to get the old folks out of the workforce to make room for the young folks, because there just aren't but so many jobs to go around. You see, socialists have no imagination at all. Bill Gates and Sam Walton would boggle his mind. So he set retirement age, folks, at 70. Yeah. He set retirement age at 70. Now, in 1916, we're in the midst of World War I, aren't we? He reduced it to 65. Now, in 1890, life expectancy for Germans was about 45, so you see, it was probable you'd never elect. Anyway, this is where Roosevelt, FDR, got age 65 for our Social Security in 1937. At that time, life expectancy of American males was about 61 years. What is it today? 78. And we have people that talk about retiring at age 65 or even less. Get real. It can't happen. I've read predictions of living to age 120 is possible due to increased life expectancy. So life insurance companies now have policy plans of life paid up at 121 years in view of this possibility. But yet there are people who hope to, quote, retire early, say age 55 or so. I'm going to work for 30 years and retire for 50 years. Get real. There's no way. Now, I've read studies where it'll take 80% of my grandchildren's income to supply Social Security at the present level to their parents' generation. That's impossible. No way. It won't work. Furthermore, I drew up the following scenario over 30 years ago. No one had the courage to repeat it. Now, I emailed this scenario to Neil Boyd's talk show host in Atlanta 3 times before he finally did something about it. Now, don't y'all pick on Neil, because a talk show host gets thousands of emails per day. Now, those of you who have listened to Neil know that his sidekick on the show is Royal Marshall, a black guy. Remember that, okay? You ready for the scenario? There were 3 men born the same day. One was Caucasian, one was Hispanic, one was black. They all had similar jobs during their lifetime. They all paid maximum into Social Security. They all achieved retirement age. They all drew their first check. But would you believe it, the next month the black guy died? Do you know it's a statistical fact blacks do not live as long as Caucasians and Hispanics? And did you know that those Japanese guys outlive us white guys almost 10 years? And do you know you can pass all the laws you want to, you cannot change that fact. Now, the next month, the black guys widow dies. How many times have y'all seen one spouse die and the survivor dies shortly thereafter? The stories are out there everywhere. I was in Westchester County, New York, about 8 or 9 years ago. In a village not far away, there was a story about the widow at the funeral home shopping for the coffin for a deceased husband the day before. She died at the funeral home. Got a 2-for-1 deal.